Alright, here we go. Finally got my Moonlight. Well, actually over a month, but hey, that's fine. So yeah, I actually got her into 2 stars. I got a pity and not get luck, and don't have any luck compared to the Melan Cream one that I got. So yeah, I actually got it to 2 stars. I got a pity, and all of the rolls that I got actually led me into her soul stones to actually got another copy. Then boom, it is now a 2 star. It's actually really great. And I actually want to show you guys this just a little bit. Hold on. Da, da, da. Oh, yeah, right here. Where's my gotcha? Looking at the artifacts right here, I actually got a... Where is it? I don't know. It took a while. Yeah, this one right here. I actually got one that's a solo pull from the legendary artifact banner, and I got the pity, as you guys can see, which means I already have a 2-star artifact, which is actually really cool. I never have a 2-star artifact from a legendary before, so that's really cool. So anyway, here is Moonlight. It's actually the introduced us to the newest element of the game, Mystic, which is actually a half light, half dark, which means can be used in light and dark teams if you want to use Moonlight. And of course, there's 2 other cookies that we will be, of course, showcasing. It's actually really cool. But anyway, let's just focus on Moonlight. Alright, Moonlight is actually going to be our first support and magic. I think that is correct. I think so, because if you look at the filters, let's go to the support and type magic, the only one in there. So it is guaranteed the very first support and magic, which is actually really great. Because usually though, most of the ones that we got are just a ton of like supports and assists, which is pretty good. But hey, since this is our first support and magic, it's actually really cool. Fun fact about that. So yeah. Anyway, let's just go to Moonlight right now. Alright, Moonlight, support magic from the newest Mystic element, and of course our current and newest legendary actually came out from the 2nd anniversary of Tower Adventures. It's actually really great. We'll be taking a look on its promotions, artifacts, skills, and sets. Hopefully I do not forget any of those. Alright, so first things first is we'll take a look about the skills. Actually, there's quite a lot here, so I just gonna go ahead and summarize to you guys once we go to the training camp. Equipment, we're actually gonna run with its unique, actually gonna called fantastical dreamlight staff, actually give us a lot of the debuff amplification, and of course you actually want to run mystic element. And of course for the set, you could actually run the Dreamy Moonlight camp, which is actually the 2nd anniversary. And if you look right here, this is actually, according to the description, this is actually, let's just say, Falling Stars Regalia's cousin, that kind of thing. So hey, it's free, which is actually really cool. We're gonna give us some of those LM res, actually really great, some defense reduction, some more of those defense amplification, and a lot of fun stuff. Alright, so for the equipments, you would obviously want it unique. You would run 2 mystical elements of these ones right here, some small attacks in there, and of course for the body and legs, you would run debuff amplification, and of course, disclaimer, the higher the hidden powers that you get, the better stats you would actually, the better stats and the better results that you can also get. It's actually really cool. So right now my debuff is actually level 148. I think it can go a lot more higher, probably even a lot more higher than that. It's actually crazy. Let's see, 2% on those, and 5. So I think the highest like 150% or something like that. I'm not certain, but hey, that's fine. Seasonite. Here we go. Actually, by the way, that's wrong. We're gonna run we're actually gonna run a few things. First things first, you actually want to run the Will of the White Mage if you do not have this one right here, the Moonlight Whispers. Moonlight Whispers is actually the best Seasonite for Moonlight. Is actually really cool. Using the Omega grants the Moonlight Whispers effect to all allies, actually increases the Moonlight Whispers attack, which is actually really great. And of course, its main stats are elemental damage increased to 100% of its buff amp and debuff, which means the higher your buff amp and debuff, the more attack you get, or what do you call this one? The more attack you actually deal, which is actually really cool. Anyway, that's it. But hey, since I'm just gonna go and run Will of the White Mage. It's a fine Seasonite, but like I said before, this is the best Seasonite for Moonlight. Alright, so I'm gonna flip that. There we go. Also, by the way, I actually got now herbals. Yay! I actually got another one of these, which is actually really cool. I got this from a choice chest that we got from the community event, and I used the hammer of Thor again. I used the hammer again to, got another one, and that's why I got the light touch. And also, by the way, I got a vanilla almond finally. I've been waiting for to get it. It's gonna be great for my Milan cream runs and my blue mellow runs. No, I just need is lemon grassite. I don't have one, so yeah. That is for Phoenix, of course. So yeah. Anyway, let's just go ahead. All right. Next up is going to be the artifact. Artifact, we have the Serene of the Moonlight Flow. It gives you 20% on debuff, which is actually really great, and also actually increases our elemental damage, and crit damage is increased once we use the Song of the Moonlight Stars, and also give us the Midnight Lullabies. Gosh, these words are just so mouthful in my opinion. Anyway, also give us extra attack, and of course we have the Dawn Guide damage, which is a lot of attack in three times, which is actually really great. All right, promote. Here we have here the Fantastic Moon's Invitation, which is actually really cool. Start of the battle, we're actually dodging an attack, which is actually really great, and however actually increase the attacks of Fire Cookies and Tiger Cookies is actually really cool. Fire Cookies, Mystic Attack, that is actually for Stardust, and of course Tiger Cookies, that is actually for Milkway. Really cool. And we also have the End of the Radiant Dream. Allows within a Moonlight hot area granted a buff, increasing total damage. Actually really cool. This effect is unfavorable buff application. That's fine, but the Moonlight is more of a debuff, so I'm not really sure. Like I said before. Alright, this is going to be the Unforgettable Dreams. Damage against enemies with reduced is actually increased for the Mystic Res, which means we're actually getting more damage once we have the Mystic Res, aka Mystic Resistance. It's actually really cool. And of course, the stats increase. Alright, so now without further ado, let's go ahead and pop you in the training camp. So let's go to the trial right here. Alright, here we go. Speaking of this, we're gonna run, of course, the newest Stardust and Milkway. Pretty good. Alright, here we go. But we're only gonna be focusing on Moonlight right now, because why not? Alright, here we go. I almost forgot, we have to check out the passive perk because you cannot really see this on the game. So first up is we actually have the Beautiful Night Stroll. We actually got the increase of the damage depending on our debuff amplification, which is actually really cool. However, this cannot exceed while we were on the Dawn state, aka when Moonlight turns white yellow or something like that. But while we're on Dawn state, our crit rate is actually increased by quite a lot. It's actually really cool. So I think that's it. And we also have these ones right here. We're gonna go ahead and take a look at this one by one. Finally, we can now move on to the training camp. Alright, here we go. Starting first, let's take a look at our dash here. Actually really cool. Go over here. Actually, let me go ahead and change it. Alright, here we go. This is actually, instead of dashing, we're actually riding the moon. Wait, hold on, wait, this one. There we go. Hold on, let me do it again. There we go, we are now riding the moon. Actually, dash is a little bit forward, and then we are now actually riding the moon. There we go, pretty cool. Wait, I think I need to hold it. Hold on. There we go, nice. There it is. Really cool. Alright, starting first with its actually basic attack. It is called Magical Moment. Actually give us 2 Starlight Wishes. Right here. Oh wait, that's wrong. Hold on. Where is it? Reset. There we go. Basic attack, Magical Moment. There we go. Those are the Starlight Wishes. Pretty cool. We also have the charge up. This is called Blissful Dream. Let me go over here. Oh wait, a bit better. So this one's right here. This also pierces. Actually really cool. The Magical Moment. These are the Starlight Wishes. Next up, we have the Blissful Dream. Actually holds it. Boom. Make enemies sleep. gathers them in the center for group damage, and that's actually really cool. See those sleep particles, which means they're asleep, which means they cannot attack and move. Right here. Boom, there we go. Do it again. There we go, nice. There we go. Perfect. And I think Moonlight also sleeps here in here as well, which is actually really cool. Actually, I think we're actually also gaining a little bit of health once we hold it. Let me go right here. I may take some damage, right? Just a little bit. Come on. Oh wait, there we go. But that is actually our promotion. I actually forgot about that. Start of the battle, we're actually dodging one of the incoming attacks. Really cool. Let me do one more. There we go. Then we're gonna go here and see. I think we can actually gain some health when we use our Blissful Dream Decharge attack. Yeah, there we go. Actually, let us sleep for quite a while actually, and gains our health. Really cool for Moonlight. Alright, now let's move on to our special skill right here. Actually gonna give us the what you call the Dazzling Moonlight, which is actually gonna give us the Crescent Moon, the lunar crescent. Also give us some shields. This is actually what you call the Moon Halo. As you guys can see, every time you swap, it gave us a short amount of shield. Plus but quite a lot actually, which is really cool. Alright, there we go. Nice. Alright, now for the ultimate, this is what you call the Song of the Moon and Stars. Right here, pop this guy in. There we go, and now we actually have a gauge. This is actually what you call the... Wait. Actually, the Desperate Dream Gauge. Sorry about that. It's actually what you call the Desperate Dream Gauge. Let me do that again. Pop the ultimate. The bar underneath, once we use our ultimate, actually causes the Desperate Dream Gauge. And our basic attacks, the stars, actually fills this gauge up, which is actually really cool. There we go. And we all can also use it again. Let me try again. Here it is again. Desperate Dream Gauge allows our magical moment, our basic attack, those Starlight Wishes, to actually use those. There we go. Nice. Okay, pretty good. Alright, let me do it again. Over here actually give us the Desperate Dream Gauge, the bar underneath. We're gonna go ahead and pull this up. So just a few of these ones right here. Then we are now actually, let's go over here first. Actually, once we apply this, all of these gain those defense, what do you call this one? Defense reduced, and then we're actually using this. Alright, here we go. Use this right here. Wait for it to spawn, of course. There we go. And then here we go. This is the full dream time. This is actually the full dream time. Actually really cool. Boom, and now we are what you call the dawn state. This is actually where Moonlight actually turns, I don't really go dawn. Crazy. Oh yeah. Alright, so here we go. Now let's move on. Go ahead and go back up here. Alright, so let's go ahead and do it again. Use this. Now we actually have ourselves the stacks underneath, the Desperate Dream Gauge. We are of course filling this up with our basic attack, the Magical Moment. Since we're actually doing this. There we go, another damage. Also put enemies to sleep. See those Z's right there, really cool. Now let's go over here. And then everything is there. Now, we're obviously gonna go ahead and start first with this one. So far, starting first with our basic attack, actually for the Dawn stage, actually this is what you call the Staff of Dawning Dream. Up to 3 times, there we go. Okay, it's expired. Okay, let me do it again, it's actually expired. So go over here, do this. I need some stack. There we go. Go over here. There we go. And then now, Of course, we're obviously doing this. Actually changes now. Instead of those 2 stars, actually give us the Staff of Dawn and Dreams. It's usually just like 3 slices, but I think once we keep tapping it. There we go. Really cool. There we go. You see that effect? Really cool. Alright. Now, moving now on. We have another one for the charge attack of our basic attack here. Alright, here we go. Use this. Remember we actually have our Desperate Dream Gauge now, which is actually really cool. Let me use our special right now. I don't know what just happened. That is actually wrong. Let me do it again. Use this, right? What is going on? Come on. We need to fill it up. Desperate Dream Gauge right here. Over here. There we go. Basic attack. We use our charge up here. Oh, nice. Okay. Really cool, actually. Once we hold it down, we're actually moving our Dawn state that actually deals damage. Actually, it looks really cool. Alright, here we go. Do it again. Here we go. Desperate Dream Gauge. Actually, once the bar is full, we can now use it. I think there's anything. Still the same thing, but it is actually enhanced, which is really cool. And here is actually the very best moment of this one. Actually, the charge up. There we go. Once we actually did that, then we now back to our normal self. Actually, really cool. There we go, nice. Let me do it on the boss though. Over here, use this. Using our blissful moment. I think that's what it's called. Oh, not this one. The magical moment. Yes. Magical moment. We now in here. We now enter the dawn state. We can actually wait it out, or you can actually hold it just right now. Boom. Pretty good damage, actually. That's really nice. Also, by the way, this also gives shield to people. Right here. There we go. That actually applies his shield. That special skill. Actually really cool. Let me go over here first. I can hit them with stacks, come on. Okay, never mind. Okay, anyway. Alright, well, since we're actually done, I think we're done with all of the Moonlight skills. We're obviously gonna test it out, right? So, I'm just gonna do the cookie story right here. Why not? Alright. It's gonna be, hopefully, pretty good. I do know that we might get a little bit way overpowered, so pretty much everything is almost a one-shot, but I think that's gonna be fine. So that way we can actually end the video with a little bit of playthrough of Moonlight. That would be very nice indeed. Alright, we are here. Pretty decent. So using the special, there we go. Give us some shield. Let me go ahead and sleep these guys. There we go. Actually got it just a little bit. Using this. Okay, come on. Nice. Get some stacks. No! Wait! Bro, alright, whatever. We're going to use everything now. This is getting Roti. I was gonna say I'm just gonna use Moonlight, but yeah. Let's just use everybody there. Okay. No. And I am the lagging. Wow. Game. No! What just happened? Oh, good man. There's one. I don't have skill. Come on. There we go, finally. Well, that's gonna be it for the video. I'm gonna make the Stardust and the Milky Way now. As soon as I get Milky Way to 5 stars, so it's gonna be a little bit of a wild ride, but hey, we got Moonlight. Really cool. Alright, see ya guys. Bye.